What's going on, Broncos Country? We are live here about 30 minutes before kickoff for the Kansas City Denver Broncos matchup that everyone has been looking forward to except for the national media who thinks that this game is just going to be a complete blowout. And I'm right here to tell you I don't agree with them, and I don't think you guys do either. So let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and then make sure you're hitting up the comments and let me know what you guys think. I'm doing this solo today, so we shortened it to about 30 minutes. So I want to talk to you guys. I want to hear your guys' comments and see where your guys come from. Again, I've been reading this national media. I've been listening to a lot of it this week, trying to kind of take in as much as I can about this game. And man, do not think that the Denver Broncos have a chance in this game. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating if they don't think that. So, yeah, let me hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this game coming up? What do you think are the key matchups? If you listen to the pregame podcast, we brought a few of them out that people aren't really talking about. And I think that we want to touch base on a couple of those. But yeah, please make sure that you're hitting those comments. Please, as I get talking, I don't want to just talk to myself. I want to talk to you guys. All right, so I'm going to pull up it looks like the, hey, Sean, what's going on, man? I was just looking at it. Where'd it go? Inactive players, that's what I thought. Okay, so we know J.K. Dobbins. Looks like J.K. Dobbins is going on year ending. We kind of saw this coming as soon as he went to go get a second opinion on something. You knew it wasn't good. Like, obviously, there was a chance he'd come back at some point this season. We knew he wasn't going to be back for this game, but that's a huge blow to the Denver Broncos. Obviously, without Pastor Tan again this week, he's out for another couple of weeks while he's nursing his pectoral. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating for the Denver Broncos there, especially from the defensive side of it with Singleton also being out. It's going to be tough to stop this Kansas City offense. But we also have to remind ourselves that the Kansas City offense is not what they used to be. They're not the same big bad wolf of the AFC, and this is the chance that we get to prove them wrong, right? We get to prove all the national talking heads that Kansas City is no longer the top guy in the AFC West. It's us. And on top of that, I love this because I wanted to call him San Diego so bad. I wanted to. I'm sorry, guys. The Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, getting absolutely destroyed. I haven't checked the recent. It's on here somewhere. Where is it? I can see it. Pretty sure they're getting absolutely destroyed. Where is it? Why is it not on here? Weird. Yeah. So with the Chargers losing this week to the Jaguars, like I said, I thought they were getting absolutely just manhandled, which I would have loved. Oh yeah, 35-6 final. Ooh, that's a rough one. Yeah, that's not good. So with that being said, that's a rough loss for the Chargers, but a great one for us. Now we come out here and we beat the Kansas City Chiefs today. There's no question who the number one in the AFC West is. We even give ourselves some wiggle room. We give ourselves a little bit of a padding for the going on to the rest of the games. Again, we've already lost the Chargers once earlier in the year. We will play them again next in a couple weeks, and then we play Kansas City again. We play the Raiders again. Right now, we're 1-1 in the division going into this game. I think it's nice that it's a home game, and there's still, which I still think is ridiculous. Kansas City favored by 3.5 points, which is 6.5 points if it wasn't a home game. I absolutely think that is ridiculous. All right, let me get to some of your guys' comments. Hey, Sean, welcome. Appreciate you. Chris, yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Matt, thank you for jumping in. I appreciate you helping me out with that Jacksonville game. I'm all over the place. It's a late game, but for some reason I'm not on it right now. Let's see. James, the defense just need to sack Mahomes, not let him out of the pocket. I think this is going to be a big part of our game plan. I think we have a good job. We do a good job. And James, thanks for the comment. We do a good job of getting pressure with just 4. And I think that's what we're going to have to do against Pat Mahomes. But we need to send 4 so that we can have someone spy to make sure that he stays in the pocket. If he tries to take up in between guard and tackle, we have someone there holding him, so we have to turn around, try to go the other way. By that time, it gives the edge time to come back in. It's a lot to say. You probably won't see a bunch of exotic blitz packages unless we know that we're going to have a man unblocked. So that's that's his thing. I think that's really what it's going to come down to. I think if we go with these exotic blitz packages, that's what it's going to come down to. And then going on to Matt's comment here, appreciate this. I do think we're going to play a lot more zone. I think most of it is because of Pastor Tan being out. but I think it's also due to the speed that they have on the outside with both of their wide receivers. Rashid Rice is back, and he's been playing pretty well. And I think just the sheer speed does not allow us to play man the way we want to, because we have to play off them. We can't play press. And then that just gives them the dink and dunk, which, we all know Pat Mahomes is so good at just dinking and dunking his way all the way down the field. If we can avoid that and go into some cover 2, maybe some cover 3, get the linebackers out in the flats, we have a little bit better chance of in this game. But that's just that's my opinion. But we'll see what happens. BJ's been doing this for a long time, and I think it's going to be a really good one. If you listen to the pregame podcast or the Bourbon Broncos No BS on Tuesdays, I was a big fan of, I think the Broncos have a chance to win this, but that's if the coaches do their thing, right? This is a game that if we lose, it's on the coaches. If we win, it's on the coaches. And barring some ridiculous stat, like somebody fumbles 3 times, or I'm obviously not going to put that on anybody. But barring some ridiculous play, I think this is a coaching game. This is a chess game, and this is why I love watching football for these types of matches, because both coaches, offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, are very, very intelligent, been in the league for a very long time, and they know what they're doing. So this is going to be a really cool game to watch from the chessboard piece of that. All right, let's see. Chris, you said, I see Bidet will play some snaps with RJ. I can see that. I think in the depth chart, he is listed in there. Let me pull that up real quick, actually. Let's see what we have. Yeah, obviously RJ is going to get the start, obviously. And I think that he's, Bidet will probably get a few backup snaps, but Jaleel, I think he's been a healthy scratch for the last couple things. I haven't seen the scratch list. I don't think he's not on the injury report. So Jaleel McLaughlin is back in as well. So you're going to see Jaleel probably with Bidet and RJ taking a bunch of those snaps with J.K. Dobbins being out, probably. And that's probably what you're going to see for the rest of the season, pending what we get from the J.K. Dobbins situation. Hopefully, it'd be nice if he came back to the playoffs, but let's hope that he just gets better at this point. Yeah, thanks, Will. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. So here in about the game starts in about 15 minutes. So here in about 10 minutes, I will ask you guys to post your predictions. You get one prediction post, and if you get it right with the Denver Broncos, you have to guess the Denver Broncos are going to win. And if you get it right, in for our 10th anniversary, we're giving away a Bo Nix jersey, number 10 jersey. If you get it right, and you only get to put it one score prediction, and you have to screenshot it for us so that we can come back and take a look to make sure that you only posted one and all that other fine print stuff. Let's see. Jeremy asks, "Am I worried?" I am. I'm not. Maybe that's why I'm a little on edge. I was watching those games this morning, though. I'll tell you what. Watching those games this morning, there was a lot of teams out there keeping up and doing things that the national pundits thought they would not be able to do, and I'm loving it. And I think we can keep that going. But I do really think that the Denver Broncos have the team to be able to beat Kansas City just straight outright, which we haven't done, for the record. Just straight outright beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a long time, and this is that chance at home in front of the home crowd. If you guys are there or someone there, make sure that they're loud, specifically when Kansas City's on offense. If he has to do this and he's confused and he's trying to listen, all the better for us. We need as much as we can against this offense. The big part about this, and I think I mentioned it a little earlier, the big part about this whole thing is Kansas City needs this win more than Denver Broncos needs this win. If we lose, for whatever reason, it's not that big of a deal. We're still on top of the AFC West with the Chargers loss today. We're still in a good spot at 8-3 going forward with the next couple games. We do have the hardest strength of schedule for the rest of the season, but it gives us a chance to kind of grow from that. Now, if Kansas City loses, if Denver Broncos beat the Kansas City Chiefs, they're kind of done. I'm not going to say they're out of the playoffs. I think I still think all three of us, us, the Chargers, and the Chiefs, are all going to make the playoffs. But that kind of ruins their chance to win the AFC West for the 9th year in a row, or 10th year, or whatever it is. That is now our chance to take them over. And with Chargers losing today, it's just that much bigger. This is more for the fans than it is for the team. Again, if we lose this game, it's kind of nice watching the Chargers lose this morning and saying, even if we do something terrible goes wrong in this game and we lose it, we're still on top of the AFC West, and that's what matters the most right now. Okay. Um, yeah, we got to wait a little bit. Let's see. Sean's already given me some, so I'll come back to these. But yeah, 21-24 Denver. We'll post them here in like a couple minutes. We got about 20 minutes to kick off, so we'll do it here in about 10 minutes. We'll do the score prediction, and I'll tell you guys mine if I can remember what I said on the pregame podcast. I think if I will say I'm the only one on the pregame podcast. Me, David, and Spotty. David and Spotty both thought that the Kansas City Chiefs are probably going to win this one, just due to the sheer nature of who needs it more, and just the team makeups. But I think the Denver Broncos are going to win this one. All right. Yeah, losing Dobbins is rough. I foresee Nix running a lot more today. I think he's hitting that DraftKings over on rushes on Bo Nix's rushing yards, because I think it said at like 19 yards. Just if anybody was interested. Oh, London in the house. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, with the Chargers loss to the Broncos, it's a much better. I agree with you. That's what I was just talking about too. Much better chance that we win the AFC West, and if we win this game, it's even more. And I love that. Run, Bo, run. Let's go, Matt. Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Humphreys is going to be playing today. I don't know how much he's going to be getting involved into the passing game, other than he's a great blocker on the outside, and I think that's something that you're going to see. So I know there's going to be a lot of frustration. We talk about Spotty is the biggest hater of the screen calls, but they work when we have the right people in the right places. So it also keeps the defense on their toes to not have to rush as much. People forget about that against Bo Nix. All right, I'm going to catch up on that. I really appreciate the comments, guys. It really helps me so much. Michael says hello. Jeremy says 24-27 Broncos. That's kind of similar, I think, to what I said. I think the Broncos win this with a last-minute field goal, and it doesn't get blocked, and we win this game. Got the helping hand from Jacksonville Day. Definitely gives us some breathing room in the AFC. Yeah, how we faced the wide receivers. So yeah, with this one's hard. This one's rough because I mentioned a little bit more, and I'll say it again. I think we play some zone just because they are very, very speedy. And while we have, I think Riley Moss is as much crap as he's gotten. He's doing a very good job being the #1 corner. Last week, and then this week he's jumping in there. 𝐂𝐈𝐕𝐄 is going to be in there. Chris Abrams-Drain's going to be in there. 𝐁𝐫𝐴𝐵aring, I think, we're going to try to use him to stop Travis Kelce more than putting him on the outside. But I think this is going to be a team game. The team defense is going to need to be what wins this. Yeah, so apparently if you don't like, follow, and share, I'm going to make my ugly face, which I'm going to have to find again because I haven't made that in a while. It's too pretty. All right. Jose, let's go. Let's make this an 8-game winning streak. The key to victory tonight. Yeah, I think it's really going to come down to a strong game from both sides of the ball. And I think the biggest side of the ball that everyone's concerned with is the offense after that Thursday night game. Really need to drive the ball down the field. We need to win the field position battle, which is not something we won. I think they had 2 punts within the 1-yard line in that Thursday night game. We need to win the field position battle. We need to be able to get down, and we need to score touchdowns. I think that our defense is good enough to let the Kansas City Chiefs drive, kick some field goals. If we can score touchdowns and keep them field goals, that's our key to the game right there. Let's hope our defense will get many chances to have Mahomes on the turf. Yeah, we lead the league in sacks, but Mahomes is slippery. He always has been, especially when he plays us. I'll never forget. I mean, I'm dating myself, obviously, but the game that he threw that left-handed pass while he was being chased by Von Miller for like a first down, and it went, crazy. It was wild. It was just the most ridiculous thing. I never forget that. And he still has that chance. He has that capability. We need to be able to control where he goes and then get to him. We also need to be aggressive. If you watch the game against Buffalo, they somehow faked out their blitzer, and he had a clear shot at Mahomes. He stopped because he thought it was a play going behind him. Stopped. Mahomes got up there and threw for it was like 3rd and 17. Something ridiculous, and he got the first down. Anyways, another Eagles game. Can we win the big games when we need to? Absolutely. So here's the other thing I think people are forgetting. Maybe it's just the Denver Broncos. Maybe it's just the NFL. Remember, the NFL, when we say like, oh, these teams suck, we should beat them easily. Like, that's not how that works. Everyone in the NFL is a professional. And we play to the level of our opponent, which sometimes I kind of like. But we need to be able to show, just like in the Eagles game, we need to show that against the good opponents, we also play up to that level. Not just play down to the level of the Raiders, but that we play up to the level of the Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, which we've proved. Up to the level of, the only game that we've been comfortably winning was the Cowboys game. So yeah, All right. Angelo has 2023 Denver. Everyone's thinking this is going to be about a 40-point game, just over 40 points. I like it again. Three points for the Denver Broncos. And for the record, I chose the Denver Broncos to win, Chris. I did. And in the pregame podcast, I said that I was the only one saying the Denver Broncos are going to win this one. And I fully believe that we have the chance to do this. There's a lot of people that are really worried about this game. And like I said, national pundits are absolutely awful about this. And I want to prove everybody wrong. Especially since it's not on a national stage, they're going to have to go back and watch film and be like, okay, maybe we were wrong about the Denver Broncos. Or they're going to say, oh, the Kansas City Chiefs kind of messed that one up. Whatever they say, as long as we get the win. All right. Linebackers need a big game. Yeah, I mean, man, this one's tough because without 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐸 in there, we really only have Justin Strnad and Dre Greenlaw. And in the inside at least. So we're going to have a tough time playing that game. I think the biggest key to this game on the defensive side is the same guy who's been the biggest key to our games every single week, and that's 𝐓𝐚𝐥𝐸. I think he's going to have to be all over the field like he always has been, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. I think he might even get a pick and a sack in this game. I would love it because I think he's an absolute force on that defense and probably the best pickup off-season acquisition that we've had in 10 years. All right, Sean, I'm going to take a break. Whew, man, doing this by myself is rough. All right. Force the Chief into third downs, no silly errors, and we can do this. Broncos from London. Yeah, Sean over there back across the pond. Appreciate you staying up for this game. It's got to be late for you over there. But yeah, definitely appreciate you. Force them to third downs, no silly errors. And that's going to be it. Like, errors are going to be an issue. We are the most penalized team in the league right now, which I absolutely hate saying. And I absolutely hate when they put it up every single time. We got to get rid of that. We got to stop that. Some of them I don't always agree with, but some of them are like, okay, we got to get this fixed. And we can't put ourselves in these third and long positions. We want to force them to third and long positions, but we can't put ourselves in these third and medium, third and long positions where you have a limited playbook where you can't do anything. And they kind of, the downs that we have to throw, it's a much easier to cover when we have to throw. So that's just, football 101. I would love to see a lot more. Andrew, you bring up a good point here, and I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent before I get to the rest of these here. I think Ingram is still just a stellar athlete. And if you've watched the last few games, if you just look at the stat lines, it looks like Ingram's just having a terrible year. It's not Ingram, it's Bo. And unfortunately, he's just not delivering the ball to him. And I don't know if they're just off timing, if it's because he's usually his outlet and he's, off his footing's off because it's his third read. I haven't really been able to really dissect into why. But if we can get those two on the same page, I think this is a huge game difference maker for the Denver Broncos, especially going in the second half or, starting a couple games into the second half of the season. Ingram needs to be more involved. He's an athlete that we have underutilized 100% of the time. And we need to get him more involved. And I'd love to see him outperform Kelce as well. I'm with you there. Can Greenlaw prove that he can be a true leader since Singleton? I think he can. I think he's been on a snap count with Singleton and him being there. I don't think he's on a snap count on this game. I think he plays every down, and I think he's the main guy. He might even have the blue chip on his back. I don't know who it is. I don't know who BJ. That's something I'm going to be interested in as we start watching this game here in a couple minutes. Who's going to have the blue dot? Who's going to be in BJ's? Who's BJ is going to be in his ear and calling the plays? Because normally it's Singleton. Singleton's very good at it. He's a super, super smart linebacker, and that's the one reason that everybody really likes him. People have had their downsides for Singleton and his pass coverage and all this other stuff, or missed tackle, whatever it is. But he's a very smart leader on that team, and he can call the plays, and he knows exactly where everyone's going to be at what time so he can make the plays. Can Greenlaw be that guy, being in the offseason acquisition for this year and only being back for a couple games? It's going to be interesting to watch, and we'll be able to see. Hopefully there's no miscommunication on the defense due to that. I think that's another piece that a lot of people are forgetting. Michael Bass coming in with the 28-21 Denver. Definitely appreciate you. All right. I'm going to try to rapid fire some of these as I get to my score prediction here in a minute. 5-10 more yards on the fake slides. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think the Denver Broncos are worried about that. If we get the penalty, we get the penalty. It's always been the Denver Broncos mindset. If he slides late or if he tries to fake slide, that we're going to go for him. But I do think that we're going to be careful when he's running out of bounds or doing whatever to be able to stop him. But if we could just keep him in the pocket, then we don't have to worry about that. I hope he doesn't get a chance to take off as much as he has been against us specifically. James coming in with 27-17. Keep thinking that we're going to beat him by 10. I like it. Really shut up a lot of people. Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's a good point. I haven't thought about this. Let's talk about this a little bit on the Tuesday show. We'll see what happens in this game. And I think this is something that, Chris, if you bring it up on the Tuesday show, well, let's go deep dive into this one. I haven't thought about this. It's possible. I mean, there's definitely a possibility with what the injury was, and without getting too vulgar into it on the live show, I do think that there might be an issue with that. Sean coming in with Denver 21-24, again, winning by a field goal. I definitely want Nick Wright to be wrong as well, Mike. I appreciate you. 20-17 Broncos win. Sean coming in from across the pond there. Yeah, I like it. Up by 3. Yeah, our awesome producer over here. Make sure you screenshot your score and to win your jersey. You got to screenshot it to let us know if you got that score right. I think Travis Swift doesn't bring his girlfriend. It's going to be a good game. I don't think Taylor's going to be in Denver today. Normally on the away games, she doesn't really go to many of those. All right, let's go. Yeah, depending on where you are, seeing which game you get. Yeah, so hopefully you do get it, Matt. I really do hope so. I'm hoping to watch this one as well. All right. Oh, it's just 9 there in London. I appreciate you, Sean. Thank you. All right, Anthony coming in at 23, another field goal win by the Broncos. This one, you think we're winning by 2. Andrew, it's going to be an interesting one. I think I was somewhere along there. I think it was 27. I got to remember. I'll probably make it up again. Gary coming in with he's his own Swifty to show for it. Ingram needs to go get his own Swift. And it comes in with a 20-14. I think we're going to win by the touchdown or 6 points there. A lot of field goals in that game, it looks like, for the Denver Broncos, and we stopped them from getting in the red zone, which I kind of like. Matt coming in with the 27-20 Broncos. Chris thinks it's going to be 42-28. Win big. 42 points. I can't even remember last time we put up 40 points. I wonder if it was this season. I mean, I did miss the first few games of the season being gone. So Will coming in with the 24-20 Broncos win. All right, well, yeah, again, we're about 6 minutes away from kickoff. I'll tell you guys my score real quick, and I'll kind of brief you a little bit on what we said on the pregame podcast. A big part of this is going to obviously come down to whether our offense can score touchdowns or not. If our offense can score a couple touchdowns, at least 2, I think we win this game. If we cannot score at least 2 touchdowns, I don't think we have a chance to win this game. And that's going to come down to the offense actually getting going. I think 𝐁𝐫𝐸 has a big game. I think he gets 100 yards receiving and rushing total combined. We haven't used him a lot in the passing game, and I think that having him back there is super helpful. Unfortunately, he's not very good pass blocker when we have rushers, but if he's back there, you're probably going to see him going out. Same thing with Jaleel. Jaleel's never been a great pass blocker, so the big key to this is protecting Bo and keeping that offense to protect Bo. They're going to send a lot of blitzes. We need to do the quick plays. We need to get the ball out of Bo's hands quick, get him into a rhythm, and drive the ball down and score. I think if we score early and we kind of keep that early score for a little while, it's going to come down to a last-minute field goal that we're going to need to have. And again, the Denver Broncos have proven that we can score when we need to in those big games. So if we can do that, if we can, the Dallas game, was it 40 in the Dallas game? I thought it was like 35. I might be wrong. But yeah, that's huge. So yeah, I think that a big part of this game is going to come down to Bo getting the rhythm. I think I said that we're going to win by an game-ending field. I think we take the lead relatively early in the first half, maybe not leading at half, but take the lead. Lead goes back and forth a couple times. And we end up winning this game. I think I said 27-23, I think is what I said, or 27-24. I forget. Something along those lines. I think somebody else said that too. But I do think the Denver Broncos can score 27 points. But we need to get that. In order to do that, you got to get 3 touchdowns. So we have to be able to get the ball. And I don't think it's going to be on the big plays. We have not been successful on the big, deep plays. We've been trying so hard, but we can't get those connections on the deep balls. I think we just need to run our game and keep the offense off the field, keep the Kansas City Chiefs off the field. And that a lot of that comes down to 𝐁𝐫𝐸 and Bo Nix's short game to be able to break tackles, get upfield. I think somebody mentioned it earlier. I think Bo ends up running a lot more, which I think is part of it. There's been a couple times where he's had a chance to run for a first down. He doesn't. He throws an incomplete pass. And I don't know if that's Sean Payton holding him back or he thinks it's going to be there. whatever the case is, or he's just afraid to get hurt. With the quarterback injuries that we've had in the league this year, I would not be surprised if it's that. We need to be able to drive the ball down and get those first downs. Keep the drive alive. Keep the time and possession in our favor. We have not had that in a while since the Cowboys game. We have not had the time and possession in our favor. We're trying too hard to get these big plays, trying too hard to get the deep ball. And I get that it spreads the field and extends the field and makes them play a little bit deeper, but we really have to do that. All right. I think that's all I got. If you haven't had a chance, you only got about a couple minutes to post your prediction for a chance to win that Bo Nix jersey that we will be giving away. If you get the score prediction right and the Denver Broncos win, we will be giving away that jersey. All right, but we got about 2 minutes away from kickoff. Sorry, guys. We're about 2 minutes away from kickoff. I'm going to go ahead and end it. So, suppose you got about 1 minute left as I say my final thoughts and not die on live. Hopefully, yeah, we got a big game. It's a big game. Keep cheering. If you guys are in the stadium, you know somebody in the stadium, make it loud when the Kansas City Chiefs are on offense. Well, I will see you guys back here. Make sure you guys are joining me back here at halftime. I'll be here for halftime and breaking down what we saw in the first half, what we need to do in the second half to come away with a win. And hopefully it's a happy time and not a sad time as we're here talking about it. But I really do think the Denver Broncos have a chance, not just a chance. I think Denver Broncos are in a good position to win this game and really take the lead and take it away from the Kansas City Chiefs and all of the AFC West with the Chargers loss. It would just be a beautiful day if we could take out the Kansas City Chiefs today in Denver. Thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate it. Kickoff isn't here in a couple minutes. I'm going to go turn it on, get myself another drink, get ready to go. And as always, go Broncos Country. And join me here again at halftime. And I will see you when that happens. And as we always do, I'll end it with a very strong Go Broncos. Have a good one, guys.
Right, and I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. 'Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the